the officers involved in the raid on Breonna Taylor's apartment said she knew they had to lie to get the warrant signed.
WDRB investigator Travis Ragsdale is digging through the plea and shows us why one officer says police never should have raided Taylor's apartment.
This full plea agreement, which was just recently unsealed, outlines how former Detective Kelly Goodlett is now cooperating with the feds. One of the key points that she makes in this filing is that in her mind, she and her colleagues never had probable cause to raid Breonna Taylor's apartment in the first place. Goodlett was charged with one count of conspiracy back on August 12th. Her partner, former Detective Joshua Janes, is the officer who signed for the warrant on Breonna Taylor's apartment. But according to this plea, Goodlett and Janes both knew there wasn't enough probable cause to raid Taylor's apartment, and instead lied on the search warrant. Janes and Goodlett were trying to establish that Taylor was involved in a drug operation. The plea says the most important information to establish that fact was the idea that her ex-boyfriend, a known drug trafficker, was receiving suspicious packages at Taylor's apartment. The plea agreement signed by Goodlett says, quote, Detective Goodlett and Detective Janes both knew this claim to be false. In early January, Janes and Goodlett observed Taylor's ex-boyfriend pick up a package from Taylor's apartment more than 2 months before the raid. Quote, the detectives, knowing that they needed factual evidence rather than just a gut feeling to get a warrant, attempted to find evidence supporting this gut belief, the plea says. But Goodlett says they never found that evidence, and after that one early January sighting, Taylor's ex-boyfriend was not seen at her apartment again. And at least 3 officers told Janes that the ex-boyfriend was not receiving any suspicious packages there. Quote, the claim in the Springfield Drive warrant affidavit that the ex-boyfriend was receiving packages at Taylor's home was crucial to showing there was probable cause. Officers had a duty to disclose to the court that they had received contrary information, the agreement said. The court was Judge Mary Shaw, who signed off on the warrant, and according to Goodlett, there's a reason they went to her. Quote, Detective Goodlett had previously heard Detective Janes make comments suggesting that he believed that Judge Shaw would not closely scrutinize his warrants, the plea reads. Judge Shaw responded to WDRB on Monday afternoon via text, saying, quote, I didn't even know him or Detective Goodlett. Goodlett has not been sentenced yet, but could face up to 5 years in federal prison. The other 3 officers that have been charged by the feds, Kyle Meany, Brett Hankison, and Josh Janes, all face up to life in prison. Travis Ragsdale, WDRB News.